self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am all the notes that Cardi B couldn't hit.
Damn.
Also known as Calamity Red.
That's a lot of bullshit.
It is. We don't talk about it.
We are Conversation Con Artists, back for another fantastic episode. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on-point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it in to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send us a private message through there. We have a couple this week. A few.
We have just a couple of replies. Colin, who y'all should not be a stranger to at this point. What's up, man?
Hey, Colin.
Said, hey again. I really like the dating talk. Maybe that can become a regular segment. Also, this picture is for Red. It is a picture of a string full of urinals and one man on the end peeing and another one walking all the way down to stand right beside him to tell him that I'm a vegan.
At first, Colin, this will be hilarious. I didn't get it. I was like, what is it? I don't understand. But I don't know man code. So
we have rules
On Point
by
had
which
to explain to me.
urinal life works. You know, from my perspective, if you got one urinal, clearly you wait in line. If you got two urinals, clearly you wait in line. If you got three urinals, there needs to be one urinal between you. And in the instance where there are tons of urinals, you should use the urinal farthest down away from that person off the wall. Okay, that's just my sense. So helping her understand the dynamic of urinal code for men.
Then it was funny after I got it.
Yeah.
I went hard on vegans. I had a couple of people mention that to me. I don't have a problem with vegans in general. I have a problem with the vegans who want to try to shame everybody else into being vegans. Fuck you. I'm going to eat this steak. It's how I feel about that. Like, I don't care if you want to be a vegan. And I love animals. Y'all hear me talk about my dogs all the time. I am a huge, pet person. But I don't get upset when I'm watching National Geographic and I see the tiger eat the antelope because that's life. So I view us eating animals in the same way. So it doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you, that's fine. My problem is when people try to tell you what the fuck it is that you need to be doing. Don't tell me. You worry about your own life. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Fuck them. But yeah. So
meat is delicious.
It's great.
Just want to let you know.
It's a wonderful thing.
I mean, there are a lot of nutrients that we get from meat that
you gotta go get all
important.
of these damn supplements and shit. If we're not supposed to eat meat, you would not have to go to all of these different down these different paths to try to get the shit that you need. Because if that was the case, you could just not eat meat. You should be fine. You shouldn't be missing anything out of your fucking diet.
Well, I mean, we used to not eat meat.
When?
Prevalent in such prevalence because it was hard to actually keep it, preserve it, and then live through eating meat.
Well,
so long ago.
But we
that's
can
why
now.
Our appendix, that's why our appendix originally was for.
We don't need it.
Processing grass and such. Now. I'm just saying, you say when you're supposed to eat it, evolution, this shit changed sometimes.
And it changed for the better. Now we can eat
did. You season that pork, cut that thing. No, that's backwards. Kill it, cut it, then season it. Don't season it while it's alive.
Don't
throw that thing on the grill like I did this weekend, mind you. I cooked a whole gang of ribs. I don't even know no other way to say.
Y'all need to go
what I did
to his Instagram and see the picture. He cooked a ridiculous.
It was a whole gang of ribs. And you know what? I'm gonna put a little secret out here for those people who've seen that picture and are listening to this. That wasn't even half of them.
It wasn't. He made so many.
That wasn't even half of them. They weren't ready yet. That was what's done at the point in time.
It was a ridiculous amount.
A whole gang of ribs.
It was.
Okay.
It was crazy.
So
it was delicious though.
But all I'm saying is meat is delicious, but if you make the decision to go over into vegetarian or vegan life, then we can be cool.
Yes.
Just don't bring your ideas about what I should be eating over into my life. My granddaddy lived to 96 years old eating pig ass plenty, okay? Eating pig ribs plenty, eating slices cut from the underside of a pork belly regularly. And you know what? He lived to 96. And he also used to eat wheat germ with his Quaker Flakes in the morning. So, and drink skim milk all the time.
All
so I'm clearly
balanced it out.
You know what I'm saying?
It's about balance.
I love salads and vegetables and things of that nature, but it's all about balance, though.
It is. Yep.
Our next letter is just a follow-up letter with Nikki. I kind of, just let her know we answered her questions and thanked her for sending a letter. And she said, both of you are very helpful. Thanks for answering. I made sure to subscribe to Mr. On Point's YouTube channel, which I remind you does not have any new content. But if you want to know which chocolate milk you need to be buying in your city,
you in this milk,
go to Always On Point. Look, you don't like chocolate and you're allergic to milk.
Yes.
I don't expect you to value this conversation from several vantage points. Yes. Okay. So I don't care what you got to say. Go get y'all some chocolate milk. Promised Land. I'm still on that.
Oh, Lord.
And we have a new listener letter from Rockman 3K3 of Nerd Plate.
Speaking of Nerd Plate, just real quick because I'm going to forget. I talked to Leroy Ketchum because we went to his wedding. Apparently, all of his friends came up to him at the reception asking about me. I just need to never wear this dress again.
No, that's the opposite.
No.
Yes, you need to wear the dress.
Nothing good came out of it. I had an old man that kept coming up.
That's because we was at a wedding.
Yeah, true.
That didn't have our generation in it. It was only people 45 and up and 28 and under.
Yeah, I was like,
I wasn't gonna find no boo. You weren't gonna find no boo. Nope. That's just how it was gonna be.
Yep.
All right.
It was, but that just. Yeah, so that was funny. So I guess people were mean mugging you.
No, they weren't mean mugging me. It wasn't mean.
Okay.
It was it was an intrigued. I wonder what they is. It ain't never on me. It's just uncomfortable that they probably think that's the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we was connected the whole time.
Yeah, cause we
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it wasn't mean mugs. It wasn't. I didn't feel any malice. How dare you come in here with a bitch with a dress like that on? Like, it wasn't nothing like that. It was more like, nigga, you doing good. How you get that? Where you get that from? What store?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna go find me one. Like, it was kind of like that, which would be cool if I was with somebody and that was going on. I'd be like, yeah, nigga. You ain't got one. Upgrade, nigga. It'll be like that. But the fact that we weren't, that creates the little weirdness.
That whole situation was funny. But no, I just had a conversation with him today, and he said that. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. I said, all your friends are going to be too young. He was like, what's your limit? 30. 30. No lower. He talking about you could be like Miss Parker from Friday. No.
Miss Parker was married to a preacher older than her.
That was also what's the correct, because I don't want to.
Oh, dang. They weren't married.
They were married. That was her husband.
Oh, that was her husband?
I
thought he was philandering.
Her husband was the little person.
That's right. They were just praying. They were just praying.
She was cheating with the pastor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm sorry. Rockman's letter. Got way off.
All right.
They're co-hosts. That's why I went down that tangent. Just FYI. But Rockman.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Rockman 3K3 from the Nerd Plate and apparently new leader of Team Ugly. Let me say #Team Ugly.
The hell is Team Ugly?
I guess we finna find out. And he did all them highs. I just want to say I totally feel you guys on the previous episode when you guys were discussing online dating, and I have a series of bad experiences back to back. Supposed to go on a date with someone and then she ghosted. I was a free meal date for someone, and after a sentence of text, another person ghosted. The last thing kind of also hurt. I had a great conversation with a woman online through Bumble, and things were going great. We clicked on a lot of things. She actually gave me her phone number. We continued to talk through text. Finally, she asked me to send her a picture of how I looked, and I said sure, and also asked for one of her as well. Well, as my luck would have it, she didn't reply back right away with anything at all. I knew then something was up. So I asked her for the honest opinion, and she replied, well, you don't look like any of the pictures in your profile. When I asked if that hurt my chances, she simply replied, I don't know, and I haven't heard from her since. So I don't know what that means. Dating just seems to be tough for everyone, period. Or at least for me, it's not working out well at all. But despite all of the rejections, I'm not going to stop being me. So I guess I'll just have to keep searching for the right one and hope that she appears one day, somehow, some way. I say all that to say that it's tough out here on both sides. But please keep your head up, ladies and gentlemen. And also, to ask the question to both of you guys, do you believe it's harder out here for nicer guys or guys who are more laid back and less aggressive in the dating scene? Follow-up question, what does Red and Mr. On Point look for in the attributes of the theoretical one? Oh, and of course I forgot to mention in the beginning that I am, of course, a huge fan of the show and an avid listener. Thank you guys for always coming hard with the realness and philosophical introspect into all things ideology and trending topics. Also, Red, I'm with you on that vegan sermon you gave last episode. Thank you guys and have a good day and keep on conning the convos. From your favorite new leader of #Team Ugly, your boy Rockman3K3.
Well, again, I must have really went hard on the vegans.
You went hard on the vegans.
I was upset because they get on my nerves. I don't think, first of all, please stop calling yourself #ugly. This is what I have learned in my time on the planet. You just not gonna always be everybody's cup of tea. Like you just not. And no matter where you are on the spectrum of you think you are the finest person in the world and can't nobody tell you shit, to you have absolutely no self-esteem at all, there's still going to be people that are either going to be into you or not. It doesn't mean that you're ugly. It means that you're not that person's cup of tea. Like, they're just, and that changes over time. Like, you know, I've had people come back later on in life that rejected me earlier that are like, hey, like now. So that's such a subjective thing. I just don't think that, I get why it would hurt. I'm not saying that, but I just don't claim that. That's not what it is. You just maybe weren't her cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, everybody get to choose what they like. I do understand that some women ain't gonna like a man that's bald headed, not by choice, by force. A lot of women ain't gonna like that my beard is as massive as it is, even though my beard is negotiable. I will never go no beard, but the length of my beard is negotiable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that you...
I am not attached to my beard. I just like it. I just like it. No, I'm actually going to cut it really soon because I think the split ends that I have, because it's curly or curling off into all my hair and it's making it draw in and shrink more than it is. Like, so... I think that's a problem. If all of the hairs I got split ends and it's creating these curls at the very end. Yeah. So I'm going to get it blown out. I'm going to get all my ends clipped, and then I might go shorter than that depending on how long it is after it does that, but I'm going to start a whole new health regimen on it. Oh. Appreciate you calling for that because he got beard expertise, it looked like. Oh. So I'm going to take his words and see what happens.
Okay.
And I know that there are women that's not gonna like a dude as big as me. You know, I understand that. I don't look at that and internalize those things and say, well, it must be me that they don't want. You know, it's just sometimes we have qualities that people don't really like, but you know, it's somebody out there for everybody. I know that's cliche shit.
It is, but
and I know everybody said, but it's true. It's true.
Dark skinned. You know how many niggas pass me over because of that? Like, I'm dark skinned. I have natural hair that's not going anywhere because I'm happy with it. It is not a natural color, so there are men that might feel like it's hood or whatever. Like, it's, you know, I was too skinny before, and now I've gained weight. So for some people, I might be too heavy. You just, you know,
and
it's all about people's preferences. You just haven't run into a person whose preferences align with who you are, but it doesn't mean that who you are is faulty.
And last week we talked about micro regrets, you know, and mine was related to dating and how people, you know, that I could have been with, I was not with. Well, that was a confidence issue for me. You know, that was me not believing that I had what it took to communicate with them, to get with them and to be with them. I started communicating in a more confident manner, you know. Well, I started communicating in a more confident manner because, you know, working in counseling, in a counseling program, I started to understand what confidence looks like, even if you don't have it.
Yeah.
Once I started realizing what it looks like, I could communicate with, because it's just words that you put together in a certain type of way.
Yep.
you know, and once I started actually communicating in a confident way, then women started responding to me as if I was confident, and that built up my actual confidence.
Yep.
You know, so sometimes you got to be the change you want to see in order to become the change you want to be. So look up, find some books, go online. It's a wealth of information that helps you understand how confident people communicate, what confidence looks like when you're talking to, you know, supervisors, superiors, coworkers, when you're talking to friends, and when you're talking to people that you're hoping to date. Once you see what that looks like and you start employing it, sometimes a woman will overlook that weight that she wouldn't normally accept because, damn, he's in love with him. Like what a girl told me before. She said that it's refreshing that you're in love with the skin you're in. You know, so sometimes it's not about that.
And I mean, I feel like
exclusively
men are in. I mean, he's in a better position than like a woman would be because men are a lot more visual. Women, I feel like are a lot more quicker to like overlook what you look like. Cause you, how many times do you see a guy with a woman and you be like, how the fuck did he pull that off? Cause they don't look equal as far as outside aesthetics. And so, women will change their viewpoint a lot of times, like after they get to know who you are. Men, well, some men do that, but y'all real visual. Y'all are like super visual
and
creatures.
Don't get me wrong, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you end up in the friend zone.
Yes.
But you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with the friend zone. Once you realize that she don't want you, just go. Just go. You can be a friend if you want to. There's plenty of women that if they need their tire changed, I'll come and help them. But I know where that relationship ain't going, even though I might have intended for it to go somewhere else initially.
Yeah.
You know? So you don't have to hold on to those preconceptions.
Yes.
Preconceptions about what you wanted from a person when you don't get it. Like, it's okay to have a woman that don't want to be with you in your life somehow.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, I've talked before about how I have I'm still friends with some of the people that we kind of dated it and it didn't work out. Like in the beginnings, it wasn't like hardcore, like we were together, but we dated and it didn't work out and we're still friends. I could have taken that as a rejection and be like, fuck this. But you know, we found value in each other as friends, so we continue to be friends. And you know, some of those relationships or friendships that I have are, you know, I really value. So you just kind of, it's not, you cannot internalize. Out here in dating, you internalizing every time somebody don't want to talk to you, you're going to drive yourself fucking insane, because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be interested in you. It's going to be a lot of people that you're not interested in. That's just the nature of the beast. So, right, man, don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, let's go to question number 1.
Okay. What's question number 1?
Do you believe it's harder out here for nicer guys or guys who are more laid back and less aggressive in the dating scene? So we going nice guys versus laid back and less aggressive. I really kind of slump them up as the same.
They're kind of the same.
I don't know what the difference is normally between those kind of guys. I
guess a laid back guy cannot be nice. Technically, like you could be an asshole. You could be laid back because you don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably say like super nice guys, only because I feel like they will fall into this getting their feelings hurt easily, because you know people do sometimes take advantage of your niceness, and sometimes again people have a tendency to internalize that and feel like, well, it's me. It's not that bitch was just a bitch, but maybe it's me. So maybe nice guys, because laid back, you just, there's a difference between, you know, just being like a non-aggressive person and not caring at all. So probably harder for nice guys, just because I feel like, you know, they have a tendency to get used.
The reason I say that, because I'm a nice guy, I'm laid back, and I'm not aggressive. So I love that in a situation for myself.
You happen to be all three, but I think I've met some non-aggressive.
So you met some aggressive nice guys too?
No, because I don't think aggression and nice go together. But I've never met an aggressive nice guy, but I have met an ass hat that was really laid back. So I think you happen to be all three of those things, but I don't think they always come together.
I think the issue is for nice guys just in general, there is no objective measure for success in niceness. You with the ass hats, their objective measure is how many women I've been with, how many girls I talk to, how many girls I date, while a theoretical nice guy is, you know, being nice, taking that time. But I think the problem is that aggression, I won't say aggression, assertiveness is necessary because women in a lot of cases want to feel desired, want to feel pursued. And that's what our society has crafted for the relationship between men and women. So when you have
pursuers,
the dudes who are aggressive and assertive, they're aggressive and assertive and they're good at it, and women gravitate to that. The problem is they're good and assertive at getting them draws. They're not good and assertive at giving them love
and maintaining a relationship.
Exactly. They're not good and assertive at maintaining a relationship and all of the things that a nice guy is hoping to have. The thing is, the nice guy ain't assertive enough for that woman to see objectively on her part that he can give me something out of this.
Everything in life is about balance. I don't think any extreme is good. So I think that you got to find a balance between all of these things. Because being too nice, no extreme, or too aggressive, or too assertive isn't really a bad. Aggressive is the bad. Assertive is good. So being too aggressive or too nice, any extreme is bad. So I feel like you just got to find a nice balance. Like you don't have to be the Jamaican who has made a reappearance here recently, and told me that I don't have a boyfriend. Well, he said there is no boyfriend. Why don't you give me your number? And I was like, no, I have a boyfriend. He exists. And he
You
was
just
like,
lied through your damn
I sure the
face.
fuck did, to try to get him to leave me alone. He was like, well, you give me your number in case you get tired of him.
Hey, if any of y'all got some Jamaican roots or got some Jamaican friends, then find out from your family and friends how Red is supposed to deal with an aggressive Jamaican that may or may not be over here because he murdered people and had to flee his home country to keep from having to be incarcerated.
I wish that I could. And see, the thing is, I think when I talk about this, see, you just seen what he looked like. I think I talk about
I
this.
seen him outside sweeping the sidewalk. What's wrong with you? And then we're one of them sidewalks where it connect right to the dirt.
Yes.
So it ain't no point.
Nope.
of sweeping the sidewalk because dirt always gonna be there. Why are you sweeping the sidewalk, bro? You just being nosy.
Yeah.
You just out here looking for people to look at.
Yep. That's why he telling me I ain't got no boyfriend, because he be watching this. He don't nobody come to my house. I could not believe he was there is no boyfriend. Like, what? I'm trying to go to church and be a good person today. It was Easter Sunday. Shit. Terrible. But anyway, you don't want to be the Jamaican. There is a balance. You need to find a balance between being all of those things. No extreme is good. So.
And you know, like I said, start off with finding out how to communicate in the ways that you want to be.
I don't know who. There's a book called Fuck Feelings. Of course, I would like this, but it's written by a psychiatrist and his daughter, who is a comedian. It is a very comedic look at different aspects of just living. There's a chapter called Fuck Self-Esteem. There's a chapter called Fuck Love. But what he talks about is the unrealistic expectations that we have about how life is going to work and how we internalize it when it doesn't, and it means something's wrong with us. And not realizing that it just means that this is how life works. And, you know, I love that book. It is an amazing book. Of course, the title drew me in because I was like, this is fucking amazing. Because I love the word fuck. But it actually is an amazing book. So that is, what I'll do is I will find it and link it on the Facebook page. Just because I think for it's so many fuck finances. I think there's so many chapters just about different aspects of life and like how we have these unrealistic expectations and how to taper our expectations in a more realistic way so that we're not as disappointed, because sometimes our expectations are way too high for how life is going to work. And so then you get disappointed all the time and you get depressed because it seems like nothing's going the way that you expect it to, but your expectations aren't realistic. So Fuck Feelings is the book that I would suggest.
Okay. Follow-up question. What does Red and Mr. On Point look for in the attributes of the theoretical one? So before we answer this question, I don't know how corny this is or how weird this is perceived.
It's probably going to be really weird.
Yeah.
For us.
It's weird.
Specifically because of what they know about us.
Yeah, but I met Red in like 2007.
Somewhere in the 6.
Well, you used to work at the housing office and used to be mean as fuck.
What? First, let me just real quick. Why does everybody think I'm mean? Like, this is like a recurring theme here recently in my life. Everybody thinks I'm this mean, but I'm not mean.
Listen. I didn't just say you were a mean person. I just said when you worked at the housing office, you were mean as fuck. I don't know if you didn't like your job.
Nope.
I didn't know if somebody just cussed your ass out before you came out to talk to me.
People always came in there whining and bitching about shit.
I'm aware enough of different possibilities that you weren't just angry at me today.
No.
You know? So you weren't a mean person. There were contexts that you were meaner in than you were nice. That's just how it was.
Okay.
But we became Facebook friends after she moved to, we became friends after she moved.
Because we lived in the same complex.
Yeah, to an apartment complex. And we met each other in the laundromat, and then we had to start talking and we started hanging out.
Playing video games, doing
whatever we do. And we wrote poetry together.
We did.
So back early Facebook, we talking about 2007, 2008. Early Facebook, the algorithm was when you posted a note, it notified everybody on your friends list. So everybody would see it. Today, if you post a note, like the algorithm might show it to 25 people out of the 1,000 on your friends list. So it's like the algorithm has got weirder as it's gotten bigger. But we used to write poetry and notes and different stuff on Facebook, and we used to mirror each other's notes and poetry. You know, we've even gone out in Montgomery to actually read some poetry at a poetry reading.
And I chickened out.
No, you didn't.
Did I? Oh, no, I did read one.
Because we got on that raggedy ass elevator.
Yes.
And went all the way up to the top of that hotel where we thought we were finna die. and we got there, and then we read the poetry.
I did.
So we did it that time. She ain't never done it since.
I hate it. I get stage fright.
I've been trying to get her to do it, but she don't want to do it.
Like, as much as this is probably hard for people to believe, I'm extremely shy when it comes to, like, I don't want to be the center of attention. I never want to be the center of attention. So getting up and performing before a group is a nightmare to me. So
I figure this is going to be the last opportunity for somebody to get to be into the poetic mind of Red, because she clearly ain't never going to do this shit outside of here. So
accurate.
We're going to read one of our poems. I guess the best one that fits into what our Rockman 3K3 is asking
of the one,
because it's like most of our poetry is like hopeless romantic poetry, or it's about romance and relationships and things of that nature.
Which again may be hard to believe considering.
Yeah, I mean,
we did this for years. Like, I don't even know how much like, it's an unspeakable amount of poetry I've written over the years. I actually haven't written anything recently though. I haven't been inspired.
So what we're going to do is read these poems. Now, I got a whole bunch of poems that I could have chose from to do this, but the one that encapsulates like what I want in the one, or at least how I want her love to exist, is encapsulated in this poem titled Intensely. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it like spoken word style.
That's what I'm going to, yeah.
Okay, good. Intensely. I want her to love me intensely. I want her propensity for love to be in the far right of the bell curve, and on a narrow road to save love she'll swerve. I want her love to be in the extreme degrees, to the point that she burns to death for love or is willing to freeze. I want her to love me intensely. I want her love to cut my predefined dispositions of relations so deeply that it reinvents me, creating a new individual who loves immensely. Though it doesn't take much to convince me, she said in her world things change. And that thing I've been calling love is more like her pain. And days are sunny for me is what she calls rain. And my cleanliness is her stain. See, she's ascended to a level that I cannot attain. To speak it in plain, the highest extension of my emotional language is still lower than her anguish. Her love is so intense that to love, she is a threat. And that's because nobody has reached this level yet. And love is afraid that the embodiment of a human can possibly take its place. See, she scares love, but not intentionally. It's just the nature of her intensity. Her love changes men accidentally. She exposes them to something that they've never known how to desire, and eventually their souls begin to elevate higher while on fire. My soul will be waiting for her relentlessly until the day I meet her intensity. That's me.
That's amazing.
It encapsulates a vastly extreme version of how I want to be connected to somebody.
Well, when we decided we were going to do poems, my mind automatically went to one that I always go to because it describes the imperfectness that I expect out of whoever it is that I end up loving, because I don't expect it to be perfect. So it's called Adam. I guess I'll do it spoken word style too. I hate, even now, like I'm like, nobody's here.
What is that? I don't know what that fuck that is.
I don't know how
Just
to
do
describe it. Okay. Just, all right. So it's called Adam. I'm looking for my Adam. You see, he's my Adam because I'm his missing rib. Now, don't get it twisted. He doesn't need me to live, but I complete him. And me, he finds all the things that he lacks. And when times get hard, I'm the one who always has his back and his front and both sides. Yes, he's my Adam, the man made just for me, to which this locked heart only he possesses the key, and he never abuses his right. And now, he isn't perfect. I wouldn't want him to be. His imperfections are his character, and he accepts me just for me, flaws and all. He's my Adam. And yes, we argue, hell, sometimes we even fight, but despite misunderstandings, the last thing I do at night is thank God for him. He loves his boys, no lie, but I never have to compete. He balances his time between me, friends, work, and PS3, and I always feel loved. He's my Adam. He's not Tom, Dick, and Harry who did me wrong. In him, I find my peace. With us, the love is strong, and with them, there is no comparison. He serves as inspiration. All the past hurts I just bury, because this man has the love that makes me expand my vocabulary and look for words that describe his essence. He's my Adam, and I his rib, so I guess that makes me Eve. And though I haven't found him, the very idea is the hope that makes me breathe, and breathe I must. For each time these anxious lugs expand inside these tired ribs of mine brings me closer to the thing I want, and closer to the finish line, and closer to him, my Adam. So yeah, that's what my envision. That's what my Adam, and by I feel like, let me explain. I do not believe that we are incomplete on it. Like, I don't feel like it's men out here that's searching for their rib because they incomplete. I feel like we complement each other. I feel like you're looking for the person that complements you, not completes you, because feeling like you are missing something is how people end up just running out here getting whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like I gotta have this thing because I'm not whole if I don't have it. I don't feel like I'm not whole, but I do feel like there's somebody out there that's gonna compliment me and improve my life. But I don't think that I'm like barren without that person, and I don't think he's out there barren because he hadn't met me yet. But I feel like you meet somebody that's going to improve your life and make your life better, and if they're not making your life better, then you need to question why they're there, because that's the only reason why you should have people in your life, that they're improving it in some kind of way. So my Adam is imperfect because I'm imperfect, and I expect our love to be imperfect. It's something that we're going to have to work towards, but I'm willing to do that. So yeah, I think that's enough mushiness from Red.
So when I say that me and Red kind of wrote the mirror image of each other's poems, I have one titled Eve.
Yes.
I don't remember which one of us did it first. Did you do Adam first? And then
I think I did
Eve.
do Adam first, but you had done the spider. No, were the spiders, and then I did spiders.
Yeah. So we had a whole bunch of different notes that coincide. I did one like about fruit as it pertains to women, and the type of men, and then
I did.
So basically,
spiders.
I did like peach thief, apple thief. They were just describing a certain type of men that were after women for certain sexual attributes.
And I did
she
spiders,
did one
brown recluse, Black
she
Widow.
did one defining women. So we would we just mirror each other's thoughts and ideas, and because we think alike and we write alike, and that's where this idea came from. I just wanted y'all to see like a version of that, and from my ideas of that old way of thinking as it pertains to the one, I've grown a lot in how I want that to be.
Well, obviously mine is dated. I read that PS3 and I was like, shit, we on the phone now, but whatever. It rhymes. I can't change it. But yeah, I mean, the core of what I wrote, because my core idea about love hasn't changed vastly. The things that I would put in there now as far as what are important might change, but like my idea of imperfect love is the same.
So for me, the theoretical one is the most important factor that they have is connection. Like And to me, connection is comprised of a whole bunch of different character traits and experiences, but it's pretty much subjective. Like there is no measure outside of that person that you can see. You basically have to meet them, interact with them, get in a position where you can hang out with them, and then determine whether connection is there. Mm-hmm. From connection is communication, and sometimes they come in front of each other. Sometimes communication beats connection. Sometimes connection beats communication for me. But in the theoretical one, they are somebody that I connect with on a deeper level than just intelligence, on a deeper sexual level. And the communication is something that she understands me, and gets me. Like for me, those are the two main qualities. We can drizzle that shit down into a whole bunch of other qualities and things of that nature. But if she ain't got those, she ain't the one. And I'm not the kind of person that, I know about soulmates and twin flames and all of those different concepts as it pertains to the one. I don't believe there's a one, mm-hmm. But in somebody that is as close to the one as possible, she gonna have to have that. Because the way I look at it is, if you take everybody in the world that I could potentially date and line them up, it's gonna be a shit ton of them on one end that fit me very, very well. Mm-hmm. So I don't look at it as the one. I look at the one being like a template for a type of woman, not a specific woman.
Yeah.
Well,
it's going to be very hard for you guys to believe this, but I have a very strong personality. And, I've always envisioned that the guy that I would end up with would be somebody that was able to deal with that. And what I mean by that is, the friendships that I have that I value are the friendships where, if I say something that On Point don't agree with, On Point gonna be like, Red, no. And like most of the people in my life are that way. So somebody that is able to, manage, recognize that, a lot of people don't like saying stuff to me because they, I don't know, whatever, intimidated, whatever. But it's gonna be somebody that can manage the strong personality that I have. That's very important because I never want somebody that's gonna just agree with everything that I say. I'm be wrong as fuck sometimes. Like,
nor do she want a man that's going to dominate.
No.
So there is a very fine line.
It's not a fine line. It is not.
It's like
a
you gonna have to
fine
manage
line.
my relationship perfectly, and I'm the supervisor of you managing my personality.
That is not true.
CEO. I'm the CEO of this motherfucking company. I'm gonna tell you right now what you ain't gonna tell me what to do is blah, 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 blah.
No, I feel it's not a fine line. I feel like there are, like you just said, there is a group of people who would be able to just naturally manage that, because y'all naturally, my friends naturally do it. I don't have to I don't have to oversee y'all. Y'all just got to know me and figured out how you navigate Red. So I feel like that there are people that can do that in a different way, in like a more romantic way. So it's not hard. Is it hard being my friend?
No.
Okay. Well, then it wouldn't be hard on the other side. You just have to have those same attributes and be able to get to know me and recognize that most of the I'm talking shit.
They in a more critical position though. I mean,
yeah,
it's like the difference between having a dog and having a baby. If you want to, you can just lock the dog in the crate and go on about your damn business. With friends, it's like, if I don't answer your text or your phone call, you won't have no expectation for me to.
Yes.
We'll talk later.
Yeah.
See, a dude, though, he going to be under them boundaries of how I need to text, when I need to text, how I need to handle conflict.
But even that, I'm so easygoing and I don't require a lot because I like my alone time. And so even that is not, I don't feel like I require a lot. I guess that's subjective, but somebody that can manage my personality and just, know that I talk shit most of the time and be okay with that. Communication has always been a huge thing for me. If I'm doing something that you don't like, I'm not gonna fucking know it if you don't say shit. So like, again, that goes back to being able to manage my strong personality. Being intimidated or not wanting to say shit to me isn't gonna work because I'm very big on communication. So it's just somebody that will balance me out, that can get, when I'm doing too much, can be like, hey, you need to relax. Or when I'm not doing enough, they can motivate me, and I can do the same thing for them. I need somebody that's going to balance me out, and I balance them out. So that's pretty much the main thing that I look for in people is just the ability for it to be natural, the way it is with my friendships. It's natural. It's not work. You know what I mean? It's a very natural thing. And I feel like that should be the same way. Of course, you're going to have more problems in a relationship than you do in a friendship, but it should still be that natural flow. And that's what I would like, for it to not feel so much like work all the time. It's going to be work, but it don't need to feel like work every goddamn day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a poem called Soulmate or something to that effect. I could have read that one, but I didn't think about it, so.
Either way, we got a lot of poetry.
We do.
If you want me to read some more, I'll read some, but Red probably ain't gonna read no more.
If somebody
read some more,
if they asked, I would.
Okay.
Now everybody gonna fucking ask because I said that, but if we get some requests to do so, I will. I will be willing to, because this isn't as bad as
I like to write. I mean, I still write. I mean, don't physically write. I got like Evernote.
Yeah.
And I type up poetry on my phone, but so I got a lot.
I need to pick it back.
It's
up.
helpful. It's something that I encourage my kids to do on my caseload, to write, to journal, to create short stories, to journal. It's just like when the cyclone of words, thoughts, ideas, feelings, emotions, all of that stuff starts spinning around in my head, the best way to get it out is to put it into something creative, and it helps me stabilize or whatever. But I appreciate the question, Rockman 3K3. I hope we did it some justice. Thanks, Nikki and Colin, for the responses. And Colin, I'm gonna holler at you if you got some ideas about that. What a dating segment on our show would look like. Let's do it so we can get you on the first one. Let's do that. But anyway, if you have a question that you would like for us to answer, or if you have a comment or whatever it is, send it to us. You can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can catch us on Facebook and send it to us through a message on Conversation Con Artist. So all right, I guess we'll just go ahead and since I was talking shit about Cardi B in the intro, if you don't know, lucky you, but Cardi B released her next single, and it is a song called Be Careful, where she is rapping about a relationship, but she also is singing, and it's ass. That ain't even the crux of the situation. This sounds like a Bad Boy style diss to Offset. To me, I mean, it's about timing.
Yes.
If she wrote this song before any of his philandering happened, or before the relationship, that's one thing. But the fact that she's singing it right now, the first single that she done released after all of these cheating allegations and stuff came out, the timing is crazy. It played like a diss track directly to him. It sounds like it's about her relationship, but I wish somebody would tell her this shit ain't gonna have the lemonade effect, boo.
Oh no.
Beyonce put a lot of thought, a lot of energy, and production value into telling Jay-Z he fucking up.
Yes.
One song ain't gonna do it with a dude like Offset. You gonna get some hands.
And not even this. The song is just.
Listen,
it's the most ABC 1, 2, 3 ass fucking.
In this song, she says Texas, but she ain't referencing the state.
This nigga paused the song to ask me if she was referencing the state of Texas, and I was like, no.
She was meaning the plural
of
texts, which is text messages. What the
Texas? Yes, she also. Not sampled, but she repeated a part of a Lauryn Hill song. If you are familiar with X Factor from Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, where she was saying, care for me, said you be there for me, there for me, there for me. She does that in this song, which is disrespectful as a motherfucker.
How dare you drag Lauryn Hill into your bullshit is all I got to say.
It's so disrespectful because it is such a shit song. And listen, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I've been a fan of Cardi B's, but prior to this, I could see these other songs being a little bop. I could see people in the club, like whatever. I could see how people could enjoy those songs. This shit, as soon as she started rapping, I was like, no. And then when she started singing, I was like, who the fuck thought this was the next single? Who was like, you know what, her album is coming out next at the end of this week, because I think it's like April the 6th. We need to go ahead, capitalize off of this, make people want to buy the album. Let's release the next single. Be careful. Who the fuck made that decision?
I think it was a good decision.
Why? Because
this is for grade B hood rats. That's what it's for. Everybody going through what is suspected that Migos or that Offset and Cardi B is going through, that live in the hood.
But go listen to Lemonade. Lemonade is a better...
No, that's for grade A. That's for grade A hood rats, okay? And they got to have a dude that at least can get his shit together. She got Offset. Offset is off brand compared to Jay-Z.
It is, yeah. That's
Offset
accurate.
is great value. If you talking about Jay-Z and Offset in the same room, Offset is great value, Winn-Dixie brand, Public Store brand, 365
don't
value.
You do that to Publix. He's not Public Store brand.
What?
He's the rest of them. Public Store brand is pretty fucking good.
Public Store brand ain't shit compared to the best brand they carry.
True.
That's the comparison I'm making.
Okay.
You know, Publix is still.
Leroy Ketchum is probably got steam coming out of his ears right now because he is such a big Migos fan. Offset ain't shit. I'm sorry. He's not. And as an artist,
listen, I ain't saying that Offset is off brand. I'm saying that if he's in the room with Jay-Z and you building a rap team, you should not select Offset. You should select Jay-Z. I really don't care what the other circumstances of the battle is. Jay-Z clearly.
Yes, that is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this, it ain't. You're not gonna get the Lemonade effect. Okay. You're not gonna get a dude who's remorseful about what happened, what he did, and put out an album responsibly taking responsibility for it.
No.
So the whole song play out like a diss. The timing is bad if they want to claim that it's not. But I think that shit is for grade B hood rats, because let somebody in the hood be pregnant and be dealing with a dude who messing around with folks. Perfect. They playing that junk.
It's better songs.
It's bad for the culture.
But it's better. You got Kaya, Don't Trust No Niggas. It's some better songs for hood rats than Be Careful.
But not new.
True, not new. There is no, I can't think of nothing.
Nicki Minaj don't even do no songs for hood rats.
No, she don't even have. I was trying to think if she had a song like Be Careful, but I don't. She had diss tracks against other rap artists, but not like boyfriends. Yeah, I guess nothing new, but I still Kaya Don't Trust No Niggas. Every time when I was in college and that shit came on, everyone like with a boyfriend, without one, just you had somebody in mind, and as soon as that beat drop, you like, oh shit, you get out on the floor. Trust the hoe, trust a nigga, stupid hoe. How you figure he won't fuck your best friend and your sister? I lie to ya, and then screw ya. Get mad when his homeboy do ya. Like, I still remember the song. I don't even listen to Kai like that because it's just a good diss song. But I guess for the young people that don't really know about Don't Trust No Niggas,
that song was horrible too.
It was.
And Kaya is like the walking STD. Why would you want to even hear a song from her?
It was a good song. If you were like,
no, it wasn't.
It was a good song if you were going through like a breakup and you just wanted to be hood for a sec. Obviously, I've not stepped foot in the hood ever. Country, yes. Hood, no. But I still enjoyed the song, especially if I had just went through a breakup. Fuck these niggas.
Kaya asserted her own bad experiences on all the women.
She did.
And made them women look at little nuances in men and turning it to not even trusting them. And then magnifying that and making it seem like he'll do all of these horrible things if you trust him. You think that he won't get mad if his best friends do you?
I think most men will get upset about that. There are parts of that song that if you listen to it with a clear head, you like, the fuck is she talking? But I still like the song. So I guess that this is that new song for like new bitches, I guess. I don't know. But I hate the song. It feels like my ears are bleeding. I don't like the beat. I don't like the song. Just in general. Like, I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's horrible. It's one of the worst songs I've heard this year. It's awful. And the singing. Jesus. But just the singing. Oh my God. I hate it. And I know some of you listening maybe you love it. I fucking hate it. It's it honestly is one of the worst songs that I've heard this year.
I think it's a bad next song to release. Like it's just not a banger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't seem like a club song. I mean, you're gonna have to put some kind of beat on top of that shit to make motherfuckers want to dance to that.
It barely has a beat. Like, and again, don't bring Lauren into this. X Factor is it ain't for hood bitches, but X Factor is another breakup song that was amazing. It's one of my favorite songs off of that album. I could also sing that right now, but I won't because I can't sing. But love that song. Disrespectful as fuck that Cardi B put anything from Lauryn Hill in that song. And I was very upset when I heard that shit. I was like, you are not Lauren, bitch.
This ain't even a breakup song.
No.
This was a warning.
Yes. Be
Everything
careful with
about
me.
this song indicated that she was still gonna be a part of that situation.
Oh yeah, no. X Factor, she was out. That was the end. She said, I know what I got to do.
And in X Factor, she kept letting them back in.
She did until she
this
finally.
was it.
Yeah,
this was a wrap.
I can't do it no more. Yeah, be careful. She's just saying, be careful with me. Just from now on, you be careful with me. Going forward. It's a shit song.
So the implication of the whole song is, I'm talking all this shit, but I'm going to stay here, but you be careful. You be careful. What are you doing? He is the definition of not careful.
Yes.
He done got found out about his shenanigans. Mm-hmm. He done got you pregnant. Mm-hmm. He ain't careful about shit.
No.
You need to be careful, Cardi B. You need to be careful. Don't tell him to be careful. He's not going to be careful. He is going to be the same impulsive, raw dogging,
yes,
probably not just you, ass off brand that he can be for the longest time.
Yes. Every time I hear be careful, like just that term, I always think of, don't be sorry, ho, be careful.
What I think about is, you better be careful what you do to me.
Sparkle.
Cause somebody might do it to you. That's what I think of.
Sparkle and Aura Kelly. Mm-hmm. Robert
the Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper of children. Yeah. Take on a whole new meaning when you find out about all the bullshit he does. But yeah, that it does make me think of that. That was also a better song. Sparkle, R. Kelly. If you're too young to know what we're talking about, look it up. Sparkle is a singer, was a singer. I don't know what she's doing now. Be careful. It had the woman's viewpoint and the dude's viewpoint about this breakup that they were having. So
yeah,
better song.
Just a time difference.
Yeah,
like it wasn't nothing in.
But that shit hit now. If you play Be Careful now, it's still relevant.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about old R&B, old 90s R&B, you have a situation where they clearly applied whatever situation they had with that person to that person. Mm-hmm. When you started getting off into Kaya, she started applying it to the mass of the population.
Don't trust
now
no
that's what
nigga.
you got today.
Don't trust no nigga, none.
We got an extreme split between black men and black women specifically.
Yes.
That is rooted in all of these songs and all of these dialogues.
Yeah.
You got ain't nothing to cut a bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, it's supposed to be an emotional struggle. You're not supposed to easily drop somebody if you value them at some point. There's supposed to be some kind of difficulty in doing that.
Well, that's what she's saying.
That's what we got.
Well, she's saying be careful. She having difficulty letting go. So she just be careful from now on.
But she shouldn't be. She should be like, goodbye. That should be the name of the song. Goodbye, motherfucker. I'm gonna raise this baby by myself. That's it.
That poor baby. Money.
Child
baby
support.
had money, but that's it.
Migos has got loot.
Yeah, I said
Offset has got loot.
I said the child gonna have money, but child ain't gonna be able to speak English. The child gonna be saying shit like Texas.
and not referencing the state. Mind you.
He was so like, cause he paused it and I didn't, cause I had listened to the song, so I wasn't really listening, and I didn't realize she had said that. He just looked so, you look so distraught.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, that song is ass. If you like it, you know, that's your prerogative, but to me it's ass, and I hope I don't listen to the radio really, so I should not have to ever fucking hear that shit again, because it's horrible. Just simply terrible.
So last week we talked about Stephon Clark.
He did.
Stephon Clark got shot by the police 20 times.
7 or 8 of them was in the back.
Yeah, he got shot at 20 times.
Yeah.
Like 7 or 8 of them landed.
And like all but one was in the back.
Yeah, they was in his back and side, so it really conflicts with the story that they were telling. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but this ain't even about that.
It's not.
Whew, this is about a real bad situation. This is about Stephon Clark and his tweets.
And his self-hating ass.
So Stephon Clark, what the world found out is that he hated black women.
He did. Especially dark women like myself.
Let me read one of the most famous of his tweets. He said, "I don't want nothing black but an Xbox. Dark bitches bring dark days." And he got hands that praise up against him.
First of all, don't they have white Xboxes?
Probably not when he wrote this.
Okay.
This is back in 2015. Yeah, that was just a black.
Okay, I was finna say, because
Xbox.
bitch, you could have got a white one. You know what I'm saying? But okay. He didn't have one at that point. Let me say this, because I saw this when it came out. Was he an asshole for that? Absolutely. Do I think that he had some self-hate? Yes, because he said one of the other tweets was that he didn't want to have a black child because he black, which you hate being black so much that you don't want your child to be black. That's sad. Would we have been cool? Fuck no. Fuck that nigga. But do I feel like he deserved to die? No. I don't think that him being a shit-ass person detracts from the fucked upness that is his death. And I don't think it should be used to say, well, fuck him, glad he dead type shit. No, that's still not okay. You know, if he was alive and I met him and he's talked that shit, would I want to punch him in the face? Yes. We wouldn't have been friends. I wouldn't have been cool with him. But it's a lot of motherfuckers who think like him. Tons. Whole lot of them. I got one in my family, actually. So I'm well acquainted with people, with men, black men with that mindset. Doesn't mean he deserved to die. That doesn't change my opinion about the shooting. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, well, they justified in killing him because he was ain't shit. They ain't know that. They saw a black man in the backyard minding his fucking business and they shot him. That is what matters in this case. Was he a horrible person? Sounds like it. But that don't, for me, that don't detract from the wrongness in what the police did. And I don't think he deserved to die. You know, people that had that mindset have it for a reason. I don't know what his reason was, but that don't change my mind about what happened. I don't feel like any different about the situation just because of it.
So, let me say how I feel about this. You can be a black woman angry. Like, the question becomes, one of the main tweets that was going around on the other side was saying that I'm not going to mourn for him. I'm not going to support him and his death. That's fine. You don't have to mourn the person. You don't have to support whatever that person's life was if you don't want to. You could be a black woman that is angry that he had these views. Mm-hmm. And for me, I can be a black man that is frustrated that it seems like I have to pass a smell test in order for my circumstance to be validated. And we can all be black people and irritated or frustrated with his anti-blackness. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, Stephon Clark is but a minuscule, microscopic piece on a scale of fuck-ass injustice that has been done to black people. Mm-hmm. He is a tiny little blip on that screen. So what that means to me is that you could just not mourn or value him in silence and let the main context of the issue, which is the justice system towards black people, you can let that be what this situation is about, which is what it is about.
That's what it's about. I mean,
you don't have to do that out loud. So it seems that doing it out loud means to invalidate or upstage his situation. But what point goes with that is that we are allowing the extreme people in our society dictate what we think the actual narrative is. Because the people who saying, I don't care about his death, they are on a far end of the bell curve. You know what I'm saying? And all the people that saying support him regardless of how horrible of a person he was, they on the other end. Most of us are in the middle of the bell curve. And to be honest, we can't say that there aren't measures of how we will look at somebody's life differently. Because if it turns out that it wasn't that he hated black women, if it turns out that he had a computer full of child porn, when nobody be giving a fuck about his death. You know what I'm saying? So there is a measuring stick of where we will look at somebody's life and say, I don't give a fuck about his life. Look what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of man that's going to invalidate that because it's his perspective on women that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Men would be mad if they found tweets saying, hey, women, this is how you get in the man's pockets. Hey, women, this is how these are the secrets that black men use to get y'all in bed. Watch out for all of them. Men would be mad as shit at him if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has their own measure of how they will respond to those kind of things when a person's life is dependent on it. But still, make no mistake, it is still a tiny ass spot on a big ass issue to look at the nuances within the individual. You know, because you can look at Sandra Bland had issues with the LGBT community. You know, Eric Garner had his misogyny going on. Like, you can look at everybody's shit and use that as a measure to invalidate the bigger point. You know, but within the black community, the problem is, like, I think white people see that shit and they run with those points because it runs them away from racism. It runs them away from looking at the context of a system that is not fair to a particular group of people. You know, so the main issue is the justice system. Give a damn about what he got going on, but I understand.
Oh no, yeah, well, that was shitty what he said. Absolutely, fuck that. But the larger picture is what I would focus on, and not so much that. But that's just so. Howard University. 6 Howard University employees embezzled financial aid money over the course of, 7 years? No, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9 years. From 2007 to 2016. They embezzled money through grants and tuition payments. One of whom had an Instagram where he was posting himself living his best life. Furs, Jeeps, like nice cars. Like, he just living his best zesty life. He's a little zesty. And the students, did you see the video of the students when they were protesting in the financial aid office?
No, we're going to talk about it.
Huh?
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Oh, okay. So you did see the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll move from his shenanigans into the financial aid part.
The fact that they were able to do this for so long is mind-boggling to me. Because it was like 9 years is a long time to be embezzling.
It is a long time.
And don't nobody catches it, like. And
but if you take 25 cents out of your joy at McDonald's every day, you know, after 9 years, you won't have very much of anything.
They started out small.
But that's what I'm saying. If you take a quarter out of your McDonald's jar every day, then at the end of 9 years, you'll have a relatively decent amount compared to how much they put in that register, which is usually about $200.
True.
If you have an endless number of financial aid contribution funds that's supposed to go to students, millions and millions of dollars, maybe even getting into billions, taking that quarter out will sit you right.
Yeah. I mean, they started out small, but they got big, and that's how they got caught.
Too greedy.
They got greedy. Started taking out larger and larger amounts, and that's where they got caught. But
y'all, there is a worst part of this story. The worst part of this story is this man's name is Tyrone.
You better call
Exactly. What we've known about Tyrone, we've known two things about We've known two main things about Tyrone, okay?
Yes.
One, we've known that Tyrone was a universally black name.
It was.
Second, we know that Tyrone was dependable.
Yes.
Because even Erykah Badu knew he could call Tyrone, and Tyrone would come and get him.
You call Tyrone,
she ain't say Jamal.
No.
She ain't say Patrick. She knew who would come and get you and your shit.
Tyrone.
We knew he was dependable. We knew he was your dude.
Yes.
But see, now Tyrone's name done got tied up in some swindling, shamming, bamboozling.
It has.
Muck huggling.
The fuck is muck huggling?
Google that shit.
Yes, he has. The pictures, like, I think they've been taken down. Like, I'm sure you can find them because I'm sure somebody screen capped them.
Yes, you can find all of them. Put in Tyrone Hankerson Jr. And he's a junior. I'm a junior. That's bullshit.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
you know what I'm saying? Go Google his pictures. He is living his best life.
Best life.
He taking the best. He got the best photographer. He got the best clothes. He got Gucci bags, Gucci belts. He got one picture where it looked like he got on a bear. I'm serious. He got on a brown bear. That's what his coat looked like. $3,000 coat. This man got a Land Rover. This is a student, and one of his tweets said, "Another semester over, another bag secured."
Secure in the bag. It's so ridiculous. Like it.
And you know what? Only thing he got is fired. Mm-hmm. Where are the charges?
I'm sure that's coming.
I don't know, because I know a lot of people who have stolen from Red Lobster.
That's different.
And they just get fired.
The grants and that money comes from the government.
Oh,
so
man, I hope
different.
we see some charges on somebody.
I feel like because where it's coming from, I feel like there will be charges. The government don't play about this shit.
That boy is in Mexico now.
Grant money comes from the government. So they were stealing money from the government.
Bruh.
So
that boy silly. I
had somebody that stole from the IRS and got caught up. So they gonna come get you. It's gonna happen. So the students got upset and did a protest.
And this is day 5 of the protest, y'all. They've been sitting in the financial aid office for 5 days. And what I wanted to talk about was they put up a list of demands.
You gonna tell them about the themes, their song that they were chanting?
Go for it. I don't know what that is.
Bitch better have my money. You ain't see the video?
No, I didn't see that.
They in there sick. Bitch better have my money.
They channel they inner Rihanna, huh?
Yeah.
It is an HBCU.
It's an HBCU.
I don't expect nothing different.
Yeah, they were singing bitch better have my money.
Damn.
It's hilarious. If you can find the video, it's fucking hilarious.
They will not leave until their 9 demands are met.
What are the 9 demands?
We demand that Howard University provide adequate housing for all students under the age of 21 and extend the fall 2018 housing deposit deadline to May 1st. So they've noticed that they done got fucked over on money that has limited or impacted how some of these kids will be able to get into housing. So they want another opportunity to get into housing.
Okay.
We demand an immediate end to the unsubstantiated tuition hikes and complete access to administrative salaries. Now, that is a tall order at an HBCU, because if you go looking at the history of a lot of HBCUs, you find presidents that have been ousted and council members that have been ousted because of mishandling money, of paying themselves too much. And I don't want to say that's not just the HBCU thing. Harvard University actually have a similar issue. I guess a lot of universities have started looking into their financial aid office, seeing how easy it was for these students to do it. Now, this is how they did it. They basically had a free class, like 3 or 4 hours or whatever. They had a free class they could take. And when you have a free course, you don't qualify for financial aid. But of course, the people on the money end don't know that. So they apply for that money, but for some reason it don't go to their loans. Somehow it just, I don't know if that money's floating or what happens with that. I don't know if they turn down students that would get the money and put it in their own accounts, but somehow that taking that one class was connected to them applying for those that money and then getting that money from what I've read. I don't know exactly how it goes, but HBCUs is not trying to hit it.
And if you take one class, I mean, like, it was 9 years, but yeah, you can, if you only take one class a semester, you can, 9 years, you still won't be finished.
Yeah.
With a undergraduate degree, that's 120 hours now. You would, that's a great plan.
The third one is that we demand that Howard University actively fight rape culture on campus in an effort to prevent sexual assault, something they should have been doing anyway.
Yes.
4, we demand that Howard University implement a grievance system to hold faculty and administrators accountable in their language and action towards students with marginalized identities. I don't know what that demand is rooted in. I guess we have to know some of the complaints that's been coming up on Howard University campus to know what that means. We demand that Howard University hire more counselors and implement an inclusive attendance policy that accounts for mental and emotional health issues. We demand the immediate disarming of campus police officers and the formation of a police oversight committee controlled by students, faculty, staff, and off-campus community representatives. We demand that Howard University allocate more resources toward combating food insecurity and gentrification within the Ledroit Shaw community. We demand the immediate resignation of President Wayne A.I. Frederick and the executive committee of the Board of Trustees. And we demand that students have the power to democratically influence the decision of the administration and the Board of Trustees by way of popular vote. They basically want to run the school.
Yes.
Which I don't have no problem with, considering the shit that's going on with the school. Like, I don't have a problem with them making all of them demands, but are they likely to happen?
Nope.
Not before they all find a way to expel them students.
Yep.
They probably find a reason to get rid of them students before they let that happen. But I really do hope that this sparks change. Like, at some point, like, somebody is over Wayne Frederick. At some point, they're going to say, Wayne, your ass got to go for us to deal with these issues.
That's
with
what
the
happened
students.
at Alabama State, at ASU. They got rid of the president.
Sorry, Wayne. We ain't loyal to you more than we are to the university. And these kids are putting us on blast right now. That's a situation.
It is.
But, you know, I admire the students, especially the ones willing to sit in there for 5 days. I hope other folks bringing them food.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. They wouldn't last no 5 days without it.
You're right. One of them students at one of them colleges held out for a long time without eating.
Well, you can. It's so. I can't remember. I used to know how. It's so many. You can live longer without food than without water. Water is more important. But I forgot how long it is. I mean, it's not 5. You're just gonna be uncomfortable as fuck. It don't feel good. 5 days you could live, but like, who the fuck want to do that?
Nobody.
And so let's get into the domestic violence segment of the show.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna start with Chris Brown because that isn't as we don't know what happened with this. So Chris Brown, there's some pictures surfaced of him doing what looked like choking a woman poolside. Now, he and the woman have both said that they were just playing. Some of the pictures, I could kind of see how maybe they were playing. Some of them, she looked scared. And there is another woman that seems like she's trying to, like, stop it. I don't know. But because both of them had said that they were playing, nothing's going to come of it. But I just feel like if I was Chris Brown, the way that Lil Dicky woke up as Chris Brown.
I woke up in Chris Brown's body. If y'all ain't heard that song, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. The video is so fucking funny. I just wouldn't want, like, I'm not finna horseplay with you. Like, I don't have the kind of reputation where this is gonna go well. Like, I just ain't gonna do it. Me personally, if I was him, I wouldn't do it. And he know that the paparazzi constantly taking pictures of him. So, like, I wouldn't have did it. But if they were playing, that's fine. Like I said, some of the pictures I could kind of see that, and then others, she actually looks like uncomfortable. Like maybe he actually is choking her. They both said that it didn't happen, so nothing's gonna come of it because there's no complaining. Then on the other side, this is a different way he's saying, like, when they found out pictures, that he said either one or two things. He said, "You better tell them we were playing before I choke you for real,"
or you better tell them we were playing before I choke you again. We just don't know which one.
We don't know which one. But he needs, like I said, because he knows that, ever since Rihanna, he just has been looked at in a different light. I just wouldn't risk it. I just wouldn't.
He should walk around with oven mitts on. You know how they do with kids who bite their fingernails and chew up their hands?
The mittens, yeah.
Yeah, put some mittens on. At least so if you do it looks like not as aggressive. Get you a mitten. I got a mitten with a bear claw on it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can get one with like a chicken because it look like a chicken head. Like if you do that, like they're gonna be. You can say I'm playing, and they're gonna be like, "He definitely playing." He got on a
chicken.
He got on a chicken on his hand.
And then moving on to the more serious story that happened this past week. Fabolous, Fabolous. Fabolous got arrested for allegedly beating his girlfriend because they're not married of like forever. She was on Love and Hip Hop New York, like in the beginning of Love and Hip Hop New York. They have 2 kids together. There's a video of him with, I think it's a knife in his hand, like threatening her dad, threatening her. She looks fucking terrified in that video. Like when he started walking toward her, she like backed the fuck up real fast. And people just, Fabolous does seem like a very chill person, but I don't know why folks act like you don't go home with these fucking celebrities. You don't know how they are. Like, yeah, he seemed laid back, but that nigga New York, he from New York. Like, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised, like, that he ain't as chill as he appears to be. It's fucked up. And her reaction is very apparent that this been going on. He been whooping her ass. Like, this was not the first time. He was threatening that, telling her dad that he got a bullet with his name on it and shit. Like, just aggressive as a motherfucker. Like, terribleness.
So what happened was, allegedly, what she reports is Fabolous hit her in the mouth 7 times, knocked 2 of her front teeth out. Now, let me stop right there and say that there is conclusive evidence that happened. If you punch somebody's tooth out, you're going to have a cut on the front of your hand.
Yep.
And they teeth going to be fucking gone.
Yes.
I mean, goddamn. Ain't no fucking easier way to find out if somebody's teeth got knocked out by somebody than to say, let me see your hand, nigga.
Yep. Easy.
And let me see her mouth.
Yep.
Then you definitely punch them teeth out.
Yep.
So for people to come out with this irrational level of, I'm not defending Fab, but your butt is bullshit.
Your butt is bullshit.
Regardless of whether you want to accept it as defending Fab, you can't create a different contextual situation in which it may be justified, it may be okay, or it maybe didn't happen, and say, but I'm not defending this person. That is literally what defense lawyers do for a living. They create a hypothetical other situation over here and defend a person by saying, well, this is how it could have happened, and this is how sometimes it'll be justified. Okay? Yep. That's number 1. Number 2, the video that we saw, she called her dad and brother and asked them to come and remove all of his guns out of the house because she was afraid that he might come back and weaponize his situation. Yeah. But he drove up when that was happening. Yeah. That was that confrontation
and
there.
He was yelling, you got him in my house. It's her fucking daddy. Like, it ain't like she had a nigga in your house.
I guess maybe this is one of his houses because if they're in a relationship and they got children together, like where are they raising the kids? I mean, how does she know where all his guns are? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody can come to my house right now and find any of something that I have. Yeah. If I have multiple of them. So I'm assuming that is a long-term residence. So to make it sound like it's his house, like it should be their house, or if not their house, their abode.
It is, but that's that control. That's just part of this whole dynamic of battered women. He's just controlling. It's his house that he's allowing her to stay in. It ain't her shit. It's his. And therefore his rules apply. And one of the rules apparently being your daddy don't come in this motherfucker.
Listen, I don't know what Fabolous' previous life was like. I don't know if he was a goon, or I don't know if he's just good at saying goon shit lyrically, and in the genre that he is in, it gives you some kind of street cred to do such. But this don't surprise me. you know, because of how he's painted himself. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he hasn't said, I didn't do this shit. He just stayed completely silent on it, which in the arena of public opinion is usually a sign of something happened.
Yeah.
You know, whether you might not want to acknowledge it,
again,
you definitely don't want to lie.
Not to drag Chris Brown into this, but that's what happened with those pictures surfaced. He was very silent about it, and then he came out and was like, "Yeah, I hit him." Shit. But there was no denial from him or his team at that time because he did the shit.
So as I've been keeping up with this story this weekend today, somebody on my friends list posted some guys that were making some comments about this situation, and you know, I just want to bring light to the depths of misogyny and sexism that allow somebody to talk like this. And when I read this, I want y'all to recognize that these are dudes that are in the club looking for a relationship with you, on Tinder, Bumble, whatever you use on your dating sites, pursuing you in Walmart or wherever that he finds you. These dudes exist, except you don't know that they post shit like this on Facebook until you're deeply in a relationship with them. This cat said, there's never a reason for a man to put his hands on a female with question marks. Nigga, Eve ate an apple off a tree God himself told he was forbidden. Had Adam stepped up to the plate, handled God's light work, and Donkey Kong punched her ass, he might have saved Jesus from having to die for our sins. Don't tell me never a reason, and since day one, y'all been giving reasons. What? Adam could have set the tone, but he didn't, and look what happened. Jesus is dead. Smiley faces. Hashtag hard on hoes 2018.
Bitch, see, okay.
I know you wouldn't be able to see this dude comments on Facebook.
Cause I try not to get involved in Facebook beef with people, but that I would have been like, let me respond to this bitch ass nigga first of all.
Next one. I won't defend Fab. I don't know the story, but stop telling me there's no reason for a man to put his hands on a woman. Because of that thinking, some women feel they can go overboard with the disrespect, like a nigga can't kick their teeth down their throat. From the outside looking in, Fab is on Mount Rushmore of cool. A nigga might have been pushed to the edge and old girl caught the wrath. Not defending him, bullshit. But let's not act like there is absolutely no reason for a nigga to reach back, slap a hoe. What song or artist is that?
Okay, first of all, I
got another one from a different dude. Like these are a slew of dudes that think like this. That whore let people come in that man's house, remove his gun from out that house, which could have led Fab to jail time. Him being shot or set up with his own guns, over $1 million worth of jewelry, clothes, artwork, fancy shit, even his kicks. And people wonder why he flipped out, shaking my head.
What?
These dudes are saying, I'm not defending Fab. These dudes are saying, wait until the facts come out. But they have went ahead and judged the situation.
First of all, as far as putting Eve in check, I don't know why niggas don't remember the story. The key part of that story, if you're gonna go back and try to use that as a defense, Eve offered. She offered whatever the fruit was, because it didn't say apple. We made it an apple, but she offered it. Said, hey, eat this. That nigga ate it. Like, she forced the shit down his, you know what I'm saying? Like, what reason would Adam have had to put his hands on Eve? All of that is bullshit. There is no reason. My mom I got 3 brothers, and she told all of them, if they mama didn't raise them right, it ain't your job to do it. If you can't stay with her, you need to leave her. You don't put your fucking hands on people. Keep your hands to yourself. Told me the same thing. Keep your hands to yourself.
And let's talk about Adam and Eve for a second. All right. They didn't have no damn concept of fighting.
No, they didn't.
They weren't even kids. They was made in their late 20s. If that's what happened. They was made in their late 20s. They came out like, oh, I'm developed. And I'm just saying that because they didn't even have a concept of the word developed, I imagine.
No.
Like, what happened? Did God give them a predefined set of knowledge that they had? That had to reflect the time, because the only thing that existed was fucking the ground, the tree, and whatever this forbidden fruit is, and snakes.
And there were other animals. They gave him animals to play with. He was still lonely. That's why he made woman for him. But they didn't. They were
doing a freaky with them animals.
he didn't have a concept of that. That didn't get created until Eve was created.
Eve was created, and then her being naked wasn't even recognized until they fell down.
And they ate the apple. So no, they didn't have a concept of anything until they ate that apple. The reason why supposedly God didn't want them to eat that fruit is because they would be given knowledge of all of these things. And that's when we got the knowledge to fight and do all of this bullshit. They didn't have no concept of that.
Why would God make a fruit like that in the? I'm sorry. I know it's after Easter Sunday, and I know that's the day you supposed to go to church. Enough for me to have this dialogue. But why God put that fruit up there?
His whole existence has been testing niggas. He was gonna have Abraham kill his son, and then was like, nigga, nope. I just was gonna see if you was gonna do it. He just
get that sheep, kill that sheep.
Bro, you did this shit.
If you would have been a little bit quicker, I might not have been able to stop you.
I mean, he just tests motherfuckers. So I think that was to see if they were gonna be obedient to him. Like, God is just very.
But those are the parts of the Bible that make me question: is he really omnipotent in the way of knowing everything? You know what I'm saying? Because he would know that they're going to eat the fruit. So he can either put the fruit there knowing that they're going to eat it, and so he can continue with his experiment, or he'll know that they won't eat it and we wouldn't be here. It'll just be Adam and Eve.
Free will has always, because it's like, it's free will, I don't understand. It's free will, but he knows how it's going to end. So
it's like the version of free will, that God employs is like, I know if my kid touch that plug, they getting their ass beat. They don't know if they touch that plug, they gonna get their ass beat. So I wish they would touch that plug.
That's
exactly. Like, free will exists at a certain level.
Yes.
But at a certain point, the knowledge that bullshit can happen is above that. Like, if God exists the way that way that we've been explained to, then free will exists on our side, but because we have no idea what the consequences of that shit is.
Yep.
You know, like, that's hard. That is a hard religious reality to accept for me.
It is.
It's hard.
It is. It is.
I'm trying to.
It's a lot. Any nigga that would defend any woman beater ever, fuck that nigga. And to say I'm not defending him, but no, you are. So just shut up and own that shit. If you gonna be out here and be a douchebag and talk about punching women teeth down their throat, own that shit. Be a man and own that shit. If that's how you feel, own that shit. But don't try to hide behind, well, I'm not defending him, but yes, the fuck you are. So say what you mean and mean what you say. Say it with your chest.
These dudes are weak, but these dudes,
they weak as fuck.
Like, and that's what that's something I'm trying to communicate to a lot of men who are not those dudes, but kind of sit in the middle of, this don't sound right. You know, men been doing this for a long ass time.
Indeed.
Men have been abusing women and getting away with it for a long time. Ain't no evidence he did that shit. He is likely gonna get away with it unless there is evidence. If he did it, he's gonna get away with it. You know, nobody's gonna take it serious. There's no evidence, and the reason he turned himself in is from terroristic threats from that video. You know, like, there's no evidence, and this is what happens.
Well, if he knocked her teeth out, there is evidence of that.
Well, there's only evidence of her teeth being gone. It ain't evidence that he knocked them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he wiped her blood on the carpet, then he could say she fell. Look at that blood. Test it. It's her blood.
Well, but Chris Brown, I won't say he's gonna get away with it completely. He's not gonna get the punishment he deserves.
Well, either way, it's me. Everyday men get away with this shit all the time.
All the time.
The only reason that Fab may get away with it at a higher rate is celebrities get away with this shit at a higher rate. But when there is evidence, celebrities get scrutinized and blackballed at higher rates than anybody else. But this shit happening every single day to women. And before we sit there and try to defend the man and just believe and act like that the woman is guilty or might have pushed him to the edge, my perspective is, as human beings, we have the right to defend ourselves if somebody hit us. As men versus women in America, it is our responsibility to not lay our hands on women. There is literally no benefit. If you win, then you just a brute. You stronger than her, and you took advantage of that situation. If you lose a fight, get beat up by a woman, Now that look a certain type of way.
I don't understand how me saying some shit you don't like is the equivalent of you punching my teeth out. Like to say, well, maybe she said some shit that, no, that ain't equal. Say some shit back. Like, don't. No, the fact that you decide because she said something that you feel like was disrespectful that you're gonna go put your hands on her, you weak as fuck. You weak as fuck. I'll play verbal games with you all day. I'm not gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna fucking verbally annihilate you is what I'm gonna do. If you can't do that, then you go with your hands. That's just some weak shit.
And for any of you who are thinking in your head, well, men get abused too. Men have things happening to them too. Absolutely true.
Absolutely.
And if that's happening to a man, he needs to follow the specific steps to get out of that relationship.
Yep.
And file charges so that he can protect him and his kids if that's the situation. Yep. But the problem is when you're dealing with oppression, as it pertains to men and women are oppressed. Okay? So I expect any man making that argument to apply that same logic to a black-white situation. Yep. If you're a black man,
because you get mad as fuck when white people say, well, this happens to them like you get so upset.
Exactly. Oppression look the same no matter who the fuck is oppressed. I'm an ally for the oppressed. And something that Killer Mike said, regardless if I have issues about his NRA involvement or whatnot, he said that because I still value a lot of the shit that Killer Mike say, if you not an ally to somebody that's oppressed, you an ally to none of the oppressed. He said something along those terms. Because oppression look the same on every side. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when it's a situation where men have the power in a relationship dynamic with women, what men do and what women do, even if the same shit ain't on the same level.
Nope.
Because the way men do it come with a level of power, just like white people. Yep. It come with a level of security, knowing that you're going to get in less trouble than the other person, just like white people. It comes with a level of scrutiny on your behalf, just like what happened to black people when they get shit happen to them. They plaster bullshit about them on the news versus white people. Yep. The same thing happened to women. They get labeled whores. They get labeled all of these negative terms.
Maybe she said something that she was being disrespectful. The fuck?
So before you go ahead and give the man a pass in the situation, apply that level of context to your oppression. If you're black, apply it to yours and see if it fit the same narrative. If it don't, you got to recognize your thoughts as maladaptive, because you either got to put a woman's oppression in the same scope of where black oppression is, or you got to put black oppression down there on the level of that shit being acceptable when white people do it to black people versus when men do it to women.
Yep.
That's the only two ways you can go. You can't keep both of these conflicting ideas because one of them ain't your group. Yep. That's called hypocrisy.
Yep.
And we don't like to dabble in
fuck
hypocrisy
them niggas like
here.
that shit. And you know what? Every time a guy is like, don't understand how misogynistic, like maybe you're not misogynistic, but you need to recognize that a lot of your brethren misogynistic as fuck. Case in point, these niggas.
The last thing I want to talk about is I don't know if y'all remember, but back when Ferguson happened, there was a picture of a police officer hugging a little black boy in a brown coat and a fedora. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can search that in, matter of fact, just put in Jennifer and Sarah Hart. Those were the white parents that adopted a bunch of black kids. Now, I don't know if these kids are siblings or not, but that child was the kid of an adopted family. Mm-hmm. And he got a lot of scrutiny because when that picture came out, it was like they put that kid out there for All Lives Matter related purposes and things of that nature. I don't know if that's the case, maybe not. But those adoptive parents drove their kids off of a cliff. You heard about that?
What?
They drove them two parents and all six of the kids. They drove off of a cliff into the ocean.
What?
Now, at first they were investigating this as an accident. it was not an accident because they have determined that they went off of that edge at 90 miles per hour. Not only that, but they made plans for their dogs. They sent their dogs out to be taken care of.
Why the fuck didn't
And they drove themselves and these 6 kids off of a fucking cliff to their deaths.
Kill yourself. Don't fucking kill me. If you want to die, that's your fucking prerogative. But don't kill me. Why the fuck? You made arrangements for the dogs?
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to suffer. But let's drown the children. What?
Only 3 of the children have been found. All of them hadn't even been found. But the other 3 are missing. So it's expected that they down there somewhere. But this is like,
what?
Man, I just don't even know where my level of frustration should come at, because this is going to create a lot of turmoil for the LGBT adoption community.
So they were a gay couple.
Yes. And Jennifer and Sarah. This is going to create a lot of scrutiny for the foster care system in general, in whichever state that is. And they were all black kids. Like, what?
So
I don't really know what point I'm making with saying that they were black kids.
Well, my question is there a level of, are there levels of difficulty in adopting kids? Like, is it easier for a gay couple to adopt a bunch of black kids? Is that why they decided to just adopt black kids? Or like, I don't know enough about, I know they have a lot. It's hard for gay couples to adopt. You know, it is a lot harder. But I don't know if you get a bunch of black kids, if it's scrutinized as hard as if you were trying to adopt, white kids.
In the county that I work in, if you foster kids without the intention of adopting and choose to adopt, and the kids are okay with it, and the state is okay with it, and they terminate the parental rights, then that's ideal. So it might not have even been, hey, we're going to adopt kids, let's go through this process. It could have been foster family first, and they determined that these kids were well adjusted enough to be adopted, and they let them adopt the kids. I mean, it could be a number of different reasons, and I don't know what state they were adopted in.
What the fuck?
Liberal states don't fool with that LGBT adoption stuff.
Nah, they don't.
Like,
ain't no gay
conservative states.
Ain't no gay couple finna get no fucking kids here.
Yeah.
It's not good. Not in Alabama.
100-foot cliff on the coast.
Does anybody have any idea as to why?
Nobody know why, but the only thing that they've come to realize is that the crash was intentional.
You make arrangements for the dogs. I just can't. That just sits with me for some reason.
Like, they couldn't let these kids, like,
make arrangements for the kids.
It's making me wonder, like, how much of whatever they was going through was on the kids, or did this spike while on the road and it immediately just happened? Because we know that's how suicide happens.
Yeah.
Suicide happens at the spur of the moment. It may not be that they planned on killing themselves. It may be that they took all of the necessary steps that they would normally take in planning a trip, which I assume that they was going on, a vacation or something that they was going on, and it happened like at the flash of the moment. Because
what the fuck could have happened in the car?
Well,
where you just be like, I'm gonna kill us all.
Well, the thing about the research that's been found with suicide is that the people who committed suicide, most of them have a schedule written out up to the day before they committed suicide. So suicide is not typically a plan. It's typically something that a person has been struggling with doing and not doing. And the moment that they get bold enough to do it, the moment that part of them that wants to live is beat by the part of them that wants to die, then they go off the cliff. Like, I'm interested in who was driving.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if the driver was the only one that wanted to die and just took the passenger and the kids.
Was the other one trying to stop him and saying, "What are you doing? You driving so fast?" And they went off.
Kill yourself. Don't fucking take me. Listen, anybody in my life, future husband, you get depressed, you want to die. Don't kill me or our kids. Kill yourself.
But that's the only error I want to correct from the the law enforcement field to the field of psychology that's done the research on suicide. It was an intentional act from the moment that they put on the gas and drove off. It wasn't an intentional act because they made preparations for their dogs and things of that nature. That could have just been them having set up normally for a vacation. You know what I'm saying? It definitely makes it sound worse.
Were they going on vacation?
I don't know where they were. Nobody know where they was going. Nobody knows where they was going. Nobody knows what they was doing.
When did this happen?
This happened. What day did this happen? March 26th. They were found dead March 26th.
I mean, I guess the kids could have been on spring break. That's what, because I'm like, why would they have been going on vacation? It's school. The kids
spring
are school
break.
late.
Spring break was just last week.
Okay.
For the counties over here, spring break was just last week. School started back up this week. So that was Monday. They easily could have been going on a trip. They could have easily been going somewhere that they needed to house their dog somehow. But like I said, that's not to make it any better. I just don't want any bad perceptions about what suicide looks like. Like, because this make it sound like they planned on committing suicide. They got their kids in the car and planned on killing the kids with them. Like, that really, really makes somebody who has suicidal ideations a lot more scary, because if you got a friend that do that, what does that look like? Like, I don't want the general population to think that people who are thinking about committing suicide is out here plotting on how to kill you and your friends and their kids and stuff.
And the passenger may not have been involved at all. There are people that do packs and decide that they're going to die. There are couples that do that. But the passenger could have just been just like the kids, just along for the ride and had no fucking idea what was about to happen. So, kill yourself. Don't kill me. Shit. Just leave me and the kids and the dogs. We will be fine. Like, don't kill me. Just please.
So, I mean, I work with foster kids, so this is frustrating.
It is.
I'm interested in hearing some of the foster families' perspective about what's going on, because when things like this happen, I do raise the dialogue with the foster families just to see where they are on things like this. But that's all I got.
All right, that's all.
You got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla.